Being an attractive woman must have its benefits. I mean, just think about it. You can get free things, free attention, and even some opportunities depending on how good you look. On the opposite end though, it could bring the bad attention around that you're not looking for. Could even include stalkers or people wanting to harm you. And of course, when we talk about ladies, we never want to talk about the downside of what can happen to them by crazy men. And of course, this is a problem, as it has always been in society. But to take it a step further, we have ladies who deal in different aspects of work. For example, one level is IG models. IG models and OnlyFans models don't break the law. However, people do know them. And when they do, they can become obsessed with them. Let's talk about this Houston-based lady, Mercedes Moore. Very popular in the social media game, especially on OnlyFans. Unfortunately, a fan that was obsessed with her broke into her house one night, and this is what happened.
Incredibly tragic story here. We have learned new information that the 33-year-old social media model was strangled to death. That's according to the Fort Bend County Medical Examiner's Office, and police are also now trying to figure out a timeline of when this all may have happened, and also shared with us that they have not seen any signs of forced entry to the apartment. The details still murky as to what led up to the horrific murder of 33-year-old Janae Gagnier, known as Miss Mercedes Moore on social media, with a following of 2.6 million.
We want to find out why her, why him.
The body of the woman was discovered Sunday afternoon inside her apartment at the Cortland Sugarland complex. According to the medical examiner, she died of strangulation and traumatic concussion in what police are investigating as a murder-suicide. A second body also found. Richmond police say it belongs to this man, 34-year-old Kevin Accordo, who died by suicide caused by multiple sharp force trauma.
We found her in her apartment doing a welfare check. People haven't heard from her in a couple days.
It was the woman's family that called police asking for a welfare check on Sunday. Gagnier's father was with officers when they made the gruesome discovery.
People were asking about the relationship between her and the suspect. And at this time, we are doing some investigating on social media to determine if there is an exact cause.
And investigators would not share with us whether or not anything was taken from inside of this woman's apartment. And they also tell us that the last known address for the suspect in this case is out of Florida.
Now, again, that's the danger in just being an OnlyFans model. What if you're a lady who's a stripper? Well, there's two ladies, Ace Notoria and Maya Courtney. They were at All-Star Weekend last year, and guess what happened to them?
I'm Justin Carter. This is TSR Investigates. Maya Courtney and Ace Notorious, they want you to know that they're more than just exotic dancers. They have businesses, they are influencers, and dancing is just their means to their long-term goals. So it was a major setback when they took an Uber to a friend's house in LA and got robbed in the process.
It was lit. It was a lot of people out, a lot of celebrities out.
And they made bank.
We worked Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday. She had her phone because she was trying to call her friend to, let us in, buzz us in through the door. Turn my back. I'm punching in the code or whatever for us to get through. How you have to call to get buzzed in. Whole time she is seeing these guys running up. I don't even. All I heard was yo. Yeah, right? I'm not even. Something. Yeah, I didn't even see them yet.
That's right. These young ladies got robbed. Now, I know you're probably wondering where I'm going with this, because we're going to even go a step further. Women who participate in actual sex work or pay for play. And let's go even a step further. Those women who belong to the game, aka they sell their bodies for pimps. Now, this is the case with this particular young lady by the name of Deandrea Ford. And of course, she also was working and living in Houston. Now, this lady had two jobs. She worked as a dancer at Diva's Bikini Sports Bar and Grill. And at the same time, she was giving her money, allegedly, to another guy by the name of Keith Otis Parker. But the problem with Keith Otis Parker is that while she was in the car with him one night, he got shot to death. An alleged planned robbery with 4 people attached to the plot. And of course, her as the only witness put her in a lot of grave danger. Now, at this particular time, you would have felt like Deandrea Ford should have left the city of Houston, but she didn't. she continued to work as she was the #1 witness on this particular case. But on September 22nd, she was working that night when an unknown man decided to come and talk to her. Now, there are a lot of different stories about what happened because there were so many different men that, these ladies were interacting with that night. Some were black and some were Hispanic. But then we finally got the story about what happened. She agreed to go home with the man for a price of $200. But as we're going to find out, it didn't work out so much in her favor.
September 22nd at Divas in East Houston is where Deandrea Ford was last seen. Documents say she met Yoland Washington there, and surveillance cameras show the two going into a van together around 1:23 a.m. Washington allegedly told detectives that he paid Ford for sex. Charging documents say surveillance video showing Ford getting into the back of the van is the last time she's seen alive. Over an hour later, Washington gets into the front seat and drives away. When we spoke to Ford's family in September, they were worried.
I'm confident that something's not right. This is not her normal behavior.
Ford's phone was found the same morning, but Washington and his van were found in Virginia days later. Ford was not in the van, but deputies found blood in multiple areas of the vehicle. According to these court records, DNA consistent with the victim was found mixed with the defendant's DNA in bloodstains found on a shirt the suspect was wearing the night of Ford's disappearance. Documents describe searches at several locations.
As we can clearly see here, this lady lost her life allegedly to Mr. Yoland Washington, who was arrested and charged with the murder and disappearance and death of Deandrea Ford. The family for many months were looking for her. They couldn't find her, but they knew something was wrong. They knew that pretty much it was all over with. And I kind of want to talk about this because this is important. And I know because this young lady was involved in alleged sex work, it still needs to be discussed. Ladies who are around certain areas of people or doing certain things can be targeted. It's not just ladies, it's anybody. You have YouTubers out here who are getting robbed. Nobody would ever thought that YouTubers would be getting robbed. But you got to really put into perspective. Times are hard, people know you, and you don't really know them. You don't really know what the person's intention is when they want to talk to you. They're never going to tell you. And it can happen anywhere in the world. We already know what's going on with the passport bros in Colombia. But as far as women got to understand that dealing with strange men, just because you get away with it sometimes, it doesn't mean that you're going to get away with it all the time. Let me tell you another thing that I think this is very dangerous, ladies. Going out, getting drunk, and bars, dealing with guys, period. All right? If you're going to go out and have drinks, you should never go home with people you don't know, and you should always go with a group of people that you can trust. There are so many ladies that get drugged, bad things happen to them, and you just can't trust people to take care of you. You just can't. And because of that, it's very, very dangerous. So many ladies are on here trying to get the bag, on Instagram trying to get the bag, on OnlyFans trying to get the bag, and you really don't know how crazy people are. You don't know if guys are stalkers. You don't know if guys are killers. You don't know any of this stuff. You have to be careful when you ask for attention or people looking at what you have to offer, because they may have something to offer you that you might not like. And again, when dealing with Pookies and Ray Rays go wrong, it's never something that people want to talk about. But here, we gotta talk about it. It's dangerous out here, not only for ladies, but for men too. Ladies really gotta take into account of who they're dealing with and why they are dealing with them. So guys, what do you think? It's your boy O'Shea Duke Jackson back at it again with another episode of The Celebrity Junk. I really appreciate you for all that you do. Subscribe to the bell. We're out.